We're going to have the latest on the morning for Queen Elizabeth, of course, as the scene is about to shift from Scotland over to London. People, as you might expect, are still lining up to view the Queen's coffin in Edinburgh before it's taken to Britain's capital city tonight. At one point, King Charles and his brothers and his sister stood guard around the coffin. That fulfills a royal tradition. We're going to begin our coverage with Elizabeth Palmer in Edinburgh with more on that. Elizabeth, it was a very touching scene to see all the siblings surrounding their mother's coffin yesterday.
Deeply touching, very somber. That's St. Giles's Cathedral. You can see behind me. That's where they were. And this morning, the Queen's body is still there lying at rest, and we have not seen a single gap in the line of people filing in to say a last goodbye. Last night, King Charles, his brothers, the Princes Andrew and Edward, and his sister, Princess Anne, gathered around their mother's remains and stood heads bowed in a gesture at once ceremonial and deeply personal. Earlier in the day, Queen Elizabeth's body had left Holyrood House, her home in Edinburgh, for the last time. Silent crowds watched the hearse travel through the heart of the city along the historic Royal Mile. For the service of thanksgiving for Queen Elizabeth's life, the oldest crown in the kingdom, the Crown of Scotland, was laid on her coffin. Outside, Scots and visitors from around the world waited patiently to file through St. Giles's to pay their respects. 4,000 people an hour were expected to file past the coffin, and even so, the line stretched out of sight.
Really surreal and more emotional than I could ever remember. It was actually one of the most emotional moments of my life.
Night fell, and still they came, determined to pay tribute.
We know it's real, but when you see a coffin in there, it comes home. It's very real, very sad.
King Charles, though officially in mourning, was also hard at work. Monarch in waiting for so many years, this was the real thing. At Holyrood House with his wife Camilla, he accepted condolences from well-wishers, his new subjects.
Thank you so much for your kind thoughts.
He also met Scottish lawmakers.
Kind thoughts and prayers on these awful occasions which we have to face.
I know, but you're dealing with so many great personal loss.
Well, there we are. It's called duty.
Duty, once his mother's deepest commitment, will now rule the rest of Charles's life. Now, there are just a few hours left of public viewing because the Queen's coffin will be loaded early this evening onto a Royal Air Force plane and taken to London, where the next chapter of this extraordinary ceremony will unfold. Nate?
Elizabeth Palmer in Scotland, thank you.